So here another attempt at finding the side of a triangle using trigonometry. I've got a right angled triangle here. I know this angle is 20 degrees. I know one side is 4. I want to find this other side here. So let's go through our steps. I'm going to label the sides first. First side we're going to label opposite that angle is the opposite. Adjacent to the angle, the adjacent, and opposite the right angle, the longest side of the triangle, is the hypotenuse. So there's our sides labelled. Now we want to choose our trig function. Do we want sine, cosine, or tangent? Well, looking at my triangle, I know the opposite and I want to find the adjacent. So I don't really need the hypotenuse now, just the opposite and the adjacent. Remembering SOHCAHTOA, opposite and adjacent are with a tangent. So my trig function I'm going to use is tan. Now I need to set up my equation, remembering that the tangent of the angle is the opposite divided by the adjacent. So the tangent of 20 degrees equals the opposite divided by the adjacent. Well, let's substitute in. The opposite we know is 4 and the adjacent is y. So the tangent of 20 degrees equals 4 divided by y. If I multiply both sides by y now, I'll have y times the tangent of 20 equals 4. That was multiplying both sides by y, and then I'm going to divide both sides by the tangent of 20, which is just a number, and that'll give me y equals 4 divided by the tangent of 20. Using my calculator again, I can find the tangent of 20. I want 4 divided by the tangent of 20. In this case, y is 10.99 to 2 decimal places, almost 11. I labelled my sides, opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. I chose my trig function. I chose tan this time because I had the opposite and the adjacent were the two sides I was working with. I set up my equation. The tangent is opposite divided by adjacent. I substituted in. The opposite was 4, the adjacent was y, and then I solved. I had to multiply both sides by y and then divide both sides by tan 20 to find y by itself, and y was 10.99.